sir. Namaste, both of you.
Namaste.
Hello, hi.
Sir, first of all, how are you and how's everyone at home?
Oh, I'm well, and everyone at home is also well. My elder son Imad lives by himself. He's a musician, and he has enjoyed this isolation very much.
For last moment, I'm in my farmhouse, so I'm really enjoying it. I absolutely don't need, miss the city or the shoots or the set. I'm really happy. My NGO works from here, so that work is going on. So yeah, I'm nothing much has changed for me actually.
Great. So coming to Bandish Bandits, because I'm very curious to know this, that whether you got an opportunity to do some real singing during the shoot, because you're playing a classical musician, Pandit ji, as we all know.
No. To sing like that, I would require 7 lifetimes of training. So yeah, I did not even attempt even a Sarigama Padanisa in my own voice. I had a great singer. I had Pandit Ajay Chakrabarti singing for me. Why would I dare try to sing myself?
Music, of course, is the Atma of Bandish Bandit, as the name also suggests. And I'm really happy that I got this opportunity to try something which I had never done, to sing rather to act like a classical singer, to act singing, classical singing. And trust me, it's extremely difficult. You can sing probably the words, the Bandish, but to sing the Sargam is the most difficult thing. And especially when you have the breathless Shankar, giving his voice to you, to match, his length, the length that he sings to in one breath. I think I had really a hard time.
Yeah, maybe after Bandish Bandits, we can see that Atul Kulkarni is trying something new in singing. Maybe this inspires you.
No, Nasir Bhai would take 7 births. I'll be taking 49 of them to even have a correct sa. So let's meet in my 50th birth.
Nasir sir, my next question is for you, because you have just begun your OTT journey, and sir, you being such an experienced actor, so many years in the stage, films, and now OTT is a completely different platform, a new platform. Sir, how do you see your experience in the OTT?
See, I think a lot of good writing is happening on OTT, and a lot of novel ideas are being tried because we don't have the burden of the censors sitting on our heads. But that is not going to last. I'm certain the censors are going to jump in sooner or later. The other thing is they don't have the pressure of a producer saying ye dal do, wo dal do, isko le lo, gana kar do, fight scene, all these nonsensical suggestions that come from producers and distributors. The filmmakers don't have to worry about that pressure either. So as a result, a lot of interesting work is happening on the OTT platform, and also the short films that several youngsters are making. Some of them are quite fantastic. I have done 3 or 4, and I've thoroughly enjoyed working with those. Also because mostly they involve a day or 2 days of shoot, which suits me fine. But I thoroughly enjoy working on the OTT platform. As far as the acting is concerned, and whether we are performing for a screen like this, or whether we are performing for the television, whether we are performing for a 70 thing, the important thing for an actor is to make contact with the camera. And that is what we do. So I don't think my process, my technique of acting has undergone a change or anything as far as working on OTT is concerned.
Sir, currently we are seeing, as because of the lockdown, the current pandemic situation in the country, theaters are shut down, but that does not stop movies from releasing. We as the audience, we are enjoying all the movies on OTT platforms. So my question to both of you, that do you think coming in the future, not now, in the future, can in some time the OTT platform replace the movie theater experience?
I have a fear that this will happen. In fact, when movies started being shown on Doordarshan and in a regular way, not the Sunday evening feature, but when movies started appearing on television in a regular way, I thought that the day is not very far when movies will premiere on television. And sure enough, one of Mahesh Bhatt's films, Janam, did premiere on television. It was probably the first one to do so. And since then, several more have premiered, and it's foolish to to imagine that the movie palaces will last forever. Glorious as they were, and the kind of wonders that they provided us with, one has to live with the possibility that they will one day no longer be there.
Yeah, Atul.
I have a little different opinion. I have a feeling that the kind of films that are made, they would change. And it is already happening in the West when you see, this science fiction and, those kind of films, which require a huge visual, So these fantasies and these kind of films, they would be made more like these Batmans and the Spider-Mans, that kind of stuff and all that. So I think the type of films would be different. The kind of sound that you can create, the kind of visual that you can create in a theater, you cannot create at home. So a different type of stories would be told in films, and different types of stories will be reserved for OTT platforms. That would happen for sure, but I think theaters would stay, because that experience, larger than life experience. And see, we must, and there will be a large audience who would still like to go to theater and see it, अंधेरा करके 500 लोग बैठ के सीटियां मार के देखना पसंद करेंगे. And I think it is need, it's a cultural need, and so theaters would be there, is what I feel.
Sirs, your experience of how has life changed, and your experience of the lockdown, what are the realizations that you've had? If you would like to share something.
The realization that I have had is that I don't help in the house as much as I should. And I started doing that. That was the big realization. I've seldom stepped into the kitchen to help, but I'm now a regular visitor to the kitchen. And I also help with the cleaning and the mopping up and everything, the feeding the cat, the eating and everything. But apart from that, I have also found a way to tackle boredom, I think. I haven't been bored at all in these 5 months. Because of the fact that there is nothing awaiting you. So you don't wait. You just find something to occupy yourself at this time. And that's what I and both Ratna have been doing. I have been brushing up on my Urdu reading and writing, which I learned as a child, but which I needed to learn more about. I've been reading Shakespeare. I've read practically all the plays. And I've been practicing the sargam on my harmonium, which takes a good hour and a half and which is great fun. So what I've learned is that there is no such thing as boredom. You can always find a way to tackle it. And my hope for the future is the blessing in disguise of this whole thing would be that we finally learn to be civic. We finally stop spitting and urinating and defecating on the streets, chucking garbage onto the streets. I hope this happens because it's been happening through this pandemic.
Sir, it's a very nice, positive attitude of yours, which has helped you, and it's so inspiring to learn from you. And especially the thing that the lockdown has turned you into a chef.
It has, yes. It has made me at peace with myself.
Sir, I would request you to release some little videos on social media for your fans so that we can all see you cooking in the kitchen,
Yes, photograph of the dish and all.
especially.
So I have not really missed shooting. I have not really missed Mumbai because I have been staying in my farmhouse for last
Farmhouse.
4 months. But I think these are not really important things. What is really, really important and what is going to change the world is, I mean, everything is uncertain today in the world. But one thing that is very, very certain, especially in a developing country like India, is that the disparity is going to grow multifold. The inequality in our society is going to grow multifold. And it is not only the economical, disparity, it is going to have effect on, say, education, for example, because very small thing that online education and all that, for that you require certain equipment at your home. You require, certain parents at home which are equipped to teach their children. And if you go to a village, or if you, even if in Bombay, if you go to, in Mumbai, if you go to a slum, that cultural capital is not with the parents. So as a result, you are going to see a huge disparity, a huge inequality as far as education is concerned. And this is going to come and bite us. The attempt of every government should be to reduce that inequality as far as possible today.
I think what Atul is saying is very, very accurate, very sharply observed and very well put. And that is something that we really have to guard against. As private individuals, we can only try to apply this in our real lives, in what immediately affects us. But it is something which will require a great deal of thought and a great deal of active participation from us all in the future. It won't be enough just to lend, lip sympathy, lip support, and to feel disturbed about it. It's something which we will all have to participate in bringing about. The dream of equality, I mean, it seems like such a impossible thing, but there is no other alternative.
Absolutely agree with both of you. And it was such a nice experience talking to you, Nasir sir, Atul, both of you. And I wish you both good luck with Bandish Bandits.
Thank you.
And Nasir sir, my best wishes for Vivan as well.
Thanks.
And
I'll convey it to him.
thank you so much, both of you, sirs. Have a good day.